Much of my research looks at graphic and shocking news media images, but I will put those in the context of what a slow news approach could do in taking breaking news coverage beyond the horrific to actually look at images of resistance, recovery, and resilience. So from a solutions journalism perspective, a slower news reporting approach, one of the things I've been especially interested in is how imagery of a scientific issue like climate change has been reported. And so what we know from research is that when it comes to the topic of climate change, we most often see these graphic, negative, problem-based images. And through research, we know that images like this catch audiences' attention. And they do make audiences think that the issue is important. But they also make audiences fearful and then lead to this decreased sense of efficacy. So these fear-based images that are often used to report climate change actually have that negative effect of making audiences feel like they can't do anything about it. And that's a problem, I would argue, from a journalistic perspective, because it's not giving us that fuller, complete picture. So again, thinking about imagery and the slower news approach in the context of resilience, I've been doing some work recently with solutions journalism and visual reporting and thinking about what might a visual approach to solutions reporting on climate change look like. And it looks like this. What audiences can do, right? Here are some things that we can do to help to combat the negative effects of climate change. We most often see those negative images, but positive images like this, we now know through research, can actually help audiences feel like they can do something about climate change, that there are actually ways to combat the problem. And what we see here through research is these solutions-based images in the context of climate change lead to greater audience interest in the topic, and more important, this sense that something can be done. When audiences see these solutions-based imagery in the context of climate change, they feel like there is something they can do to help combat the problem.
The research shows that people actually like this type of journalism. They're more likely to share these stories. They're more likely to look for more stories by outlets covering solutions. They themselves are inspired. And then I think, very tellingly for the slow news consideration, they spend more time on the page with these stories. The BBC found that young people especially really gravitate towards solutions-oriented coverage. So people will stick around if you give them something that isn't just problem-oriented.